Hello, dear ones. In the previous class, we had discussed the brave potter's first act of bravery from part C of Unit 2. Let's revise it in brief. Now, the drunken potter searches for his lost donkey and finally reaches the old woman's hut in the forest, in front of which the old tiger was sleeping. Now, due to darkness and drunkenness, the potter mistakes a tiger for his lost donkey and starts beating and kicking it. The tiger, who had heard of the terrible leak from the old woman, having considered it a more dangerous and ferocious animal than a tiger, didn't react to the potter but obeyed the potter, thinking it's a leak which came out of the hut. The next morning, the villagers marveled at the bravery of the potter when they saw the tiger which had been tied in front of the potter's house before he slept the previous night. So, the villagers wouldn't believe the potter's narration of the real side of the story. He had already told them, he informed them what actually happened, but they were not ready to accept his side of the story. They believed that he was a very brave person. That's when he became famous as a brave potter, and that's where we stopped the story in the previous class. Now, we are going to the second part of this story. A few years after the tigers incident, a war broke out between the potter's country and a much stronger neighboring country. The king needed a hero to lead his army because the enemy country was stronger. So he asked his ministers if they could suggest such a brave man to lead his army. So then one of his ministers remembered the brave potter, and the king sent for the potter. The poor potter was shocked when he came to know that he had been appointed as the general of the army. See, you can just imagine a potter who had never been to riding a horse or holding a sword or fighting with someone. Now he has to lead the army against a strong country. He cursed his donkey for having brought all these troubles upon him. The next day, the potter and his wife, they went to the king's palace. The king welcomed him grandly, and he made all the necessary arrangements for him, which include the grand house and a splendid battle horse, which was set in the stable for him. The horse which he was supposed to ride to the battlefield in the next morning. So here the potter couldn't sleep that night because he was worried. He was very much worried. He was tensed because he didn't know how to ride a horse. And he cannot just hold a sword in his hand and go to the battlefield. He cannot fight like that. When he is the one who leads the army, he needs to ride a horse. He's supposed to ride a horse and lead the army. So he has to fight. So he woke up early in the morning, very early in the morning, he woke up to practice riding because he didn't know how to ride. And his wife helped him to climb the horse by placing a bench beside it because the horse was very tall. And the potter, who had never climbed on a horse but only a donkey, he couldn't adjust with the height of the horse. So he had to take the help of his wife, who helped him climb on the horse by placing a bench beside the horse. Then he stepped on the bench and climbed on the horse in a very difficult manner. Then, as per her husband's instruction, the potter's wife tied him to the horse with ropes to prevent him from falling down. As the potter's wife was about to pass a rope onto to tie the horse's neck so that it can be tied to the potter's hands, the big black horse jumped impatiently and ran out of the stable with the helpless potter screaming aloud. The horse galloped and ran past the city gate. Though the potter tried his best to stop him, it was in vain because the horse wouldn't stop. The horse ran through the fields and was now heading towards the enemy camp outside the city. The terrified potter held on to a young tree to stop the horse, but the horse galloped faster, which resulted in uprooting of the tree. Now you please check the picture of the potter advancing towards the enemy camp on his horse with an uprooted tree in his hand. This scene shook his enemies, as they were all well familiar with the story of the brave potter who caught a tiger with his bare hands, that is, without any weapon. They were so frightened that the sentry cried out to them that they must flee from there immediately to save their lives from the giant who has uprooted a tree with a single hand. The king of the enemy kingdom wrote a letter apologizing for trying to attack the potter's country and begging for peace. He kept the letter in his tent and he just ran away from there. All his soldiers and the other people had already run from there. Now only the king was left, and now he has written a letter apologizing. That means asking for forgiveness, and he ran from there. The potter somehow managed to stop the horse and get down from the horse, and when he got down he was confused, completely puzzled at what happened, because he saw the enemy camp was empty. So what happened to all the enemies? He was really confused. As he walked around wondering what might have happened, he was just walking around and he found the letter in the enemy king's tent. So he just read the letter, I suppose, and he walked home. I don't think he dared to ride the horse again. He might have taken it home walking all the way, and gave the letter to his wife, and asked his wife to hand over the letter to the king. As he was very tired, he just informed her that he wouldn't be riding a horse in his life again, and he went to sleep. The potter's wife handed over the letter to the king. The overjoyed king, he was overjoyed because he heard that the strong enemy army had retreated. Retreated means gone back to their country without fighting, without letting the battle be fought between those two countries. He was overjoyed and asked the potter's wife where he was. Then the potter's wife informed the king that he was taking rest at home as he was completely tired. So the king requests the potter's wife to ask him to be at the palace the next morning so that he can be awarded for his brave deed, for having saved his country from the enemies. The next day, you can see that the potter walked to the palace. He walked to the palace as he was afraid of riding a horse. That's the reality we know. He was afraid of riding the horse. But the people around him, they think that that's because of his humility. See, look at the potter, how humble and simple he is. Any other person, any other hero would have rode a horse to the palace. But this man, he is simply walking. He walks like a common man, though he is a very great hero. That's how the people felt about him, though the reality is that the potter was afraid of riding a horse. The king rewarded the potter so greatly that he never had to go to work in his life. So that reward which was given to the potter by the king was greatly enough for him to spend all his life leisurely. The country was safe and peaceful as long as Potter was the general of the king's army, because all were well familiar with the first act of bravery, that is the Tigers incident, and also the second one, in which the potter is said to have uprooted a whole tree and carried it advancing towards the enemy's camp. So those people, the people who heard of this acts of bravery, they never dared to fight against the country of this potter. Now that's all. This is the whole story. You please go through the whole story once in detail. You just go through the important points, underline the parts which you don't understand, and you may get a clarification on those points later. You can just text me. Then you please read it. And the previous class I had given you some questions, and I hope you have completed them, you have answered them. Today's questions are: why did the king make the potter the general of the army? The reason of the king having made the potter the general of the army. That's the first question. The next one: why do you think the sentry felt that the potter is a giant? The sentry, the watchman of that enemy camp, felt that the potter is a giant. Why? What's the reason? Do you think the potter is really brave or lucky? Is a potter actually brave or lucky? give your reason. If you think he is brave, give your reason. If you think he is lucky, give your reason. What is the most humorous and thrilling incident in the story? You just describe that humorous. Humorous means which makes you laugh, which is witty and funny and thrilling. And you mentioned that incident and also the reason why you feel it is funny or thrilling. So children, please update all these notes. That means answer these questions in your classwork notebook very neatly. I just went through some of the answer sheets which you had sent me, texted me. So the handwriting of some students, it was not up to the mark. Some students wrote it in an illegible handwriting. Please take care of your handwriting too when you update the notes. Thank you.